Greetings, friends. It's Easter week. And like all Easter weeks, we are talking about Thomas. He always comes up in Easter week, right? Because he's the one that was out from the crowd and Jesus came and visited everyone else but him. And I've said many times before that Thomas is the Eeyore of the disciples, right? He's mentioned 3 times in the Gospel of John. And each time he doesn't look very enthusiastic about things, right? In chapter 11, we see that when Jesus said, let's go to Judea and we're going to raise up a Lazarus who's sleeping, that when he realizes that Jesus is saying he's dead and that going to Judea is very dangerous and that they could kill Jesus, he says, well, let's all go there and die. Okay. And in the upper room discourse, Thomas says to Jesus, we don't know the way. He says, yes, you do. You do know the way. He's lost, like I was in algebra class, okay? He feel like everybody else is catching on, but I'm not. He's Eeyore, and of course now he just defiantly says, unless I see the risen Christ and put my hands in his wounds, I'm not going to believe. Okay, so doubting Thomas. But, I do think that the doubting thing is not the issue. Everyone has doubts. Whether you're an atheist or a firm believer, it just belongs to the human race. They'll always have sort of doubts popping up in your head. So I don't think the issue is so much that it's doubt. It's something that Thomas, it's deep down in his spirit. I mean, after all, he saw Jesus for 3 years. He saw him still the waters in the storm. He saw him walking on water. He saw him healing lame and the blind and demoniacs. He even seen Lazarus rose from the dead. What else do you want? I mean, if you're looking for empirical evidence, Thomas had it, you see. So I don't think it's so much the empirical evidence he's looking for. What could it be? Well, I think it really has to do, and it has, for all of us, it's got to do with intimacy of letting Jesus into our inner interiors, right? We have encounters with God, on various levels. I mean, the apostles had encounters with God very empirically, and they didn't get it until Jesus disappeared. How do you figure that? Right? So the issue is very deep, okay? St. John of the Cross is really good on this. He said that the more interior your encounters with Jesus, the purer they are, and the more powerful they are, So seeing Jesus empirically is a very surfacey experiential, surfacey thing, okay? Because our senses are on the externals, okay? And even dreams and visions, that's more internal, your psyche, right? They're good. I mean, they happen in all time in scriptures and are important. We should take note of these things. But even that is not so interior as it could be. Satan can counterfeit them. If they're truly from God, they can be misunderstood or manipulated in whatever way, So it really gets down to encounters, What are the purest encounter that we can do? And that's our most interior, where spirit, capital S, the Spirit of God touches our spirit. When we have these encounters, there is no doubt at all. But we have to let him in. And that's really being open to such fearful, holy encounter. And that's pure. You'll never forget that. And So it's an issue of how far willing are we to let Jesus into our hearts now? We're all in different places. Thomas was in a place where he kind of represents all of us, doesn't he? Kind of Eeyore-ish, we could all be that way. But he represents all of us, we really need to let Jesus into our hearts in a deep way. And for him, it was actually touching the wounds of Jesus and seeing him. But again, Jesus says, blessed are those who haven't seen this but still believe. Because again, Jesus is emphasizing it's not the empirical evidence. It's the being able to open ourselves up to the resurrection Christ and do heart to heart. Okay, and this Sunday is divine mercy, where the light of Christ's heart comes, and he's here to heal us from our disappointments, from our Eeyore-ish type attitudes, and he's saying, here's my heart, and we need to respond and say, hey, Lord Jesus, here's my heart. Have a great week, and we'll see you on Sunday, Divine Mercy Sunday. God bless you.